welcome back to the Pit and Paddock Race Show for episode 12 of our multi-award winning program. Formula One was back in Bahrain for the Petroleum is a Blessing from God Grand Prix, where Piastri led start to finish. Yes. Trailing Russell and teammate Norris for third. Highlights?
Highlight of the weekend, Italian guy was back.
Italian guy. We love Italian guy.
His blood is made of pure cocaine.
It was cocaine. Now it's fentanyl.
Oh, yes. That's true.
Did you know on the grid walk, he started from the back and he got to Lance Stroll's car and he's like, Stroll is in P13. Nothing to say, he was just slow.
He had a line for everyone, which was he's just slow.
Yeah. Not really anything. He was slow, but he brings a lot of money. So, well, despite Piastri leading from light to flag, the race was more interesting than China and Japan.
It's always better when the outcome is preordained by the Chinese Communist Party.
Yeah, Japan. Yeah, that works in Japan too.
Yes. What's up with the lap 33 phantom debris caution? What is this, NASCAR? Are they trying to fend off a France family buyout or something?
They heard the France family was interested, so...
I have rarely seen that in F1, and even the announcers were a little perplexed by the phantom debris caution.
The safety car came out and announcers were shocked. Wait, what's it for?
Must be a lot of debris.
Yeah. It was more than a hot dog wrapper. It was, a piece of...
Some carbon fiber?
Sainz's side body.
You saw one of the officials throwing nails onto the course from the side,
we don't want another Japan. Well, at least it gave bringing out the safety car gave Ferrari another chance at a bad strategy call, which probably cost Leclerc a podium.
And everything gives Ferrari a chance at a bad strategy call.
He was pretty well ahead of Norris in third place until the safety car closed him up. He probably could have held out. I don't know. Well, he would have pitted later, got softs, and then probably been able to hold on.
Yeah, that tire strategy they did go with was not great.
Yeah.
It seems like McLaren still has the car to beat, but Lando kind of choked in Q3 again.
Yikes. He almost made it back up to P2. He was catching Russell at the very end.
It was close. He should have been up there from the beginning, but it seems like he's not that consistent, and Piastri has been.
I think Piastri's mentally stronger than Lando.
It seems like it.
Yeah.
And Lando seems to get a lot more emotional.
He gets down on himself quite a bit.
Yeah.
Do you think his parents named him after Lando Calrissian?
I hope so.
I mean, is Lando a common name in England or something that we don't know about?
I've never heard an English person named Lando.
Yeah.
Maybe it was when he passed Hamilton off track. He had to give this position back, threw him for a loop.
Yeah, and still he caught up to Leclerc.
Yeah, he probably could have won the race, or at least would have been close second if it weren't for all that mess.
I want to know, why does the Bahrain track... Bahrain, I said that wrong. Why does the Bahrain track have a Jedi holocron on a 30-foot tall pylon on the front stretch?
Did they?
Yeah. Yeah, go look at in the pre-race show on the F1 app, go to right about 32-minute mark, and they've got an aerial drone shot of this Jedi holocron spinning around like a KFC bucket.
Did it send a message? This is Jedi Master Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah.
Our Republic has fallen.
Everybody meet in my swamp. Party at Yoda's swamp.
Mercedes did pretty well. Not all of them. Well, they both actually did pretty well, but Russell did pretty well despite a grid penalty for going to recess before the bell.
Yeah, well, so was that in qualifying? They came out before the red flag was lifted?
That's what they said.
Yeah.
And I didn't catch it. I just saw them talking about it.
Yeah, he came out they brought him and Antonelli out of the garage before the official "you can get out of the garage" bell went off or something.
Did they leave? So there's a leave the garage bell and a leave pit lane bell that are both. Oh, okay.
And so he only got penalized one grid spot for going to recess early.
Oh, so it's a gentle slap on the wrist.
Yeah. Ferrari was typical Ferrari. Bad strategy call after bad strategy call.
Medium tires to start, hard to finish.
What? Yeah, everybody's on softs to start the race, and Ferrari goes on mediums. And I'm like, either that's brilliant or they're just another typical Ferrari call.
You always hope for brilliant, but it always ends up being another Ferrari call.
Yeah, and again, when safety car came out, they decided to go hards instead of soft, which, there's no way Leclerc can hold that position on hards against Norris. If he had softs, because Russell had softs in front of him and Russell made it to the end, I think Ferrari could have made it on softs.
They probably could have. I wonder how many exasperated sighs Leclerc gives off in the car without pushing his radio button. Like, oh, what are we doing?
Yeah, Hamilton once again slapped in the face with Ferrari strategy. I wonder if he's rethinking everything.
Oh, he did manage the 9th to 5th.
Oh, yeah.
Despite Ferrari's strategy.
That was not bad.
Was he on the cover of Vogue?
Yes. Lewis Hamilton, cover of Vogue magazine.
I noticed that because I'm an avid reader of Vogue, obviously.
As we all are.
It was kind of interesting seeing an actual male on the cover of Vogue. A biological male.
Yeah.
Does that count as DEI?
For New York, it does. Yeah. That's straight DEI. I did notice still no grid girls in Bahrain. So.
Do they have grid boys?
In Bahrain?
Yeah.
I want to see, even if it's full burqa, I just want to see grid girls come back to Formula One. How many years will it take post-Me Too movement to get the grid girls back?
Too many.
We need James Hunt.
Kind of a bad day for Red Bull. Verstappen manages 6th, but Tsunoda finished 9th, which is points.
Better than Larson.
I mean, yeah, Yuki did beat Lawson, who is back to being out in Q1.
Man, what? Yeah. Why can he not even get out of Q1?
Both of the RBs were not great. No points for RB Toro Rosso at all.
Toro Rosso.
I like that name better. It was easier to remember.
Yeah, why did they have to go switch the name like 4 times? I don't know. Really good day for Haas.
That was surprising.
Yeah, double points. That's 2 double points in a row?
I think so.
Yeah. Points in every race except Australia? Yeah. Wow. I wonder, are they getting better, or are other people just getting unlucky?
They waited long enough in the formula to get it together, I guess.
Yeah.
Finally, they got some points. Are they close to matching last year's yet?
They're, I don't know. I know they're in 5th place in constructors right now.
It's going to be a nice payday if they can hold on to it.
Yeah, I'm not holding my breath.
Yeah, they'll probably blow it at the end of the year. Maybe they'll keep going for it when everyone else gives up and looks for the next formula.
Yeah, I think Red Bull's kind of moved on to the next formula already. Yeah, we'll just try and get Max and other drivers, and that's about it.
That's the best you can do.
Saudi Arabian Prince Khalid bin Sultan Al Prince number 56.
Mm-hmm.
He says that the Saudi nation would like to buy an F1 team, but can you own a race and a team? Can you do that?
You can if you're Roger Penske.
Oh yeah.
Also a series.
Yeah, you can own the whole series too if you're Roger Penske.
And a racetrack.
Yeah. Then you can decide what your punishment is when you cheat and get caught.
Yes, you can. We're going to suspend this guy for a month.
Yeah. Wait, what about everybody else that cheated?
It's handled. It's handled. The Red Bull boss, Helmut Marko, said he's afraid Verstappen would leave if Red Bull doesn't give him a winning car. Do you think that's...
Where's Verstappen going to go?
Uh,
Well, Mercedes would probably kick anyone off for Verstappen.
yes. I think it... Well, any team would. But I don't...
Yeah.
I think he would wait until the new formula before
Yes.
making any kind of move like that.
I bet Marco likes to say things, doesn't he?
He just likes to poke at everything. It seems like, Haji crying, has to make a comment about it.
Got him some headlines?
It does. I don't understand. Maybe sometimes you could just not say things.
Antonio Perez, the father of former Red Bull driver Sergio Perez, stated that Perez saved Red Bull from bankruptcy, and this is how they repay him. He also claimed Cuba has a model economy and Venezuela is a true democracy. So, what is he talking about?
How is Red Bull almost bankrupt? With
Yeah, like they're
billion-dollar energy drink company.
They're like one of the most well-funded teams in Formula One. And I don't know. He's living on another cloud. I think he's hanging out with Biden.
So he thinks a lot of himself, I guess.
Haas Formula One issued a statement that the pending Trump tariffs will not affect the team, mostly because they get all their parts from other F1 teams' junkyards. So,
Well, recycling is very green of them.
that they're a green company.
F1 owner Liberty Media is shopping the F1 broadcast rights for the 2026 season and is asking for $160 million a year. That's going to be $300 million if you add in the Chinese Grand Prix and associated tariffs.
What was baseball looking for? Like a million, 100. They were looking for 100 million, and I think ESPN offered them like 500 million.
Just what do they did like they always did Sunday Night Baseball or something like that. That it'll just be the Yankees and Dodgers or something every week. I don't know.
Yeah, that's the only one that gets really enough viewers.
What is now they're making? They're not even. I think it's like 50 million or something. Maybe it's 80 that ESPN's paying them because they have the F1 TV platform.
Oh, it's almost free, in TV rights.
I'm hoping the new broadcast deal doesn't get rid of the F1 TV platform because that would
Oh no,
be disappointing.
it's one of the few good streaming platforms out there is F1 TV.
I know a few countries like Germany and they can't have F1 TV due to their TV rights deal. I think Britain might be the same also. I know a few countries have that deal.
I think, Sky Sports in Britain is where you have to get it, and you can do streaming and all that fun stuff.
That's I think they said that the Busch Series is getting 100 million a year. I think IndyCar is getting 30 or 40
million?
Yeah,
That's it?
from Fox, but they got the deal to be on broadcast TV all the time.
Wow, that's 30 or 40 million. How you run a series off that?
Poorly?
Sure, no kidding. Well, next up, Formula One continues its quest for oil money at the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix.
Oh boy. Oh, is this the one with the missiles?
Yes.
Ah, fun.
Didn't we save Saudi Arabia from Iraq once?
Yes, probably.
Well, all Americans should get free tickets then for the lifetime of the race.
Do I have to go there?
Yeah, there's no alcohol.
Oh. Oh, that's... pass.
Okay. I predict more McLaren. I mean, who's going to beat McLaren right now until they get back to Europe with some upgrades?
Someone, if someone crashes or does something stupid.
That's probably true.
NASCAR went to Bristol for the third leg of the Paperclip Track Series, where Kyle Larson almost won the trifecta, winning the Cup and Busch races, but finished second in the trucks. Like a loser. Man, that guy's terrible.
I don't know.
Now for the Cup race highlights. Alex Bowman started on the pole. Kyle Larson led 411 laps for another sleep-inducing race. Those were the highlights.
What? Why are these paperclip tracks so boring?
Man, it was tough to watch. I'm glad I found other things to do. Larson had a 235-lap green flag run to the finish, which was the longest green flag run in NASCAR since 1997, rivaling only Nancy Pelosi in her Speaker of the House run of 236 years.
That was impressive. Yeah.
Well, most impressive.
Hamlin was close to the paperclip track trifecta.
The second in
Yeah.
every time. What?
Almost. He almost had it. He won the last 2 races and almost did another one.
That was close. Kyle Larson was looking to sweep the weekend, but immediately screwed that up Friday night by finishing second in the truck race. If not for stage breaks on Saturday's Busch race, he might have lapped the field. He was up by like 10 seconds at some point.
Ooh.
On the track with 15-second laps.
You know what? Whatever he did, Larson can't make up for dishonoring the Tony the Tiger car. That's just unforgivable.
Oh, yeah, that was... Ugh.
How could he go from that bad to that good in one race?
Crashed himself out
Like,
twice.
he could barely turn left last week.
And then we're just going to dominate and lead the entire thing. It's kind of disappointing because Saturday during practice, there was some awful lot of tire wear. A lot like this race last year. You remember where they were cording out and just getting worn out pretty quickly. Looked like there might be a repeat of that, which led to a pretty exciting race, but no, that didn't happen at all.
No, you may not have an exciting race at Bristol anymore.
Nope, tires are going to last freaking forever, and no one's going to be passing anyone. I believe Darlington and Bristol are the first time the Cup Series have seen back-to-back races with 4 or fewer lead changes since 1976.
Wow.
And there has only been 1 natural caution flag in the 2 races. So, not for stage breaks. Nothing.
Nothing. It would have gotten stretched out
Yeah.
like the old days. Yeah.
We would have had guys. Kyle might have very well been on his own lap at some point.
Like 2 laps ahead of the field. My highlight was announcer Mike Joy calling Larson's reverse lap at the end a Polish victory lap.
Oh, that would have got you canceled in the pre-Trump era.
Yeah. Now you can say those things again without getting canceled. And you know what? I'm surprised to see Larson dominate like that. I thought Toyota was now the short track car.
It seemed like they were. I guess Kyle Larson sometimes just decides that he's going to dominate a race here and there. They pretty much ruled Martinsville, and Larson wasn't really around that much for Martinsville, but showed up at Bristol.
I could make a joke about being half Asian driver, but that might get us in trouble. That was the half that drove last week.
Yeah.
Into the wall.
You gotta get both sides there.
Yeah.
In a stunning first, Ryan Blaney didn't blow up.
Good job, Blaney.
I actually forgot he was in the race,
Yeah.
which is probably a good thing for him.
Used to his engine blowing and being out of the race by halftime. After winning the X race, I'm just gonna call it X, right? Right? Xfinity just sounds dumb, so it's called the X race.
I like calling it the Busch Series, like it's 1985 still.
Yeah, that was the proper name. After winning the X race, Larson said he wants to embarrass the X field.
Is he planning on using racial slurs on the entire field?
Would they demote him again if he used another racial slur in public?
Sorry, you have to go win every sprint car race ever now.
Yeah.
For a year. Okay.
Paint jobs. I went with good paint job is Kozlowski in the number 6 Oscar Mayer car because it looked like he had a bacon sandwich on the back, and I really like a bacon sandwich.
Yes, that's always a winner.
But then that does beg the question: how does someone named Meyer sell bacon?
Well, they make money off it, so I'm sure they're fine.
Oh,
It all checks out.
look the other way.
Yeah, as long as you're turning a profit, everything's fine. I think my favorite was. I thought I saw the stealth bomber car in there again, which I'm a big fan of.
It doesn't read that well, though.
No, you can't see it on the TV that well.
Yeah.
I guess because it's the stealth.
Well, that's just a bad strategy. I can't see it because it's the stealth car. Come on.
That doesn't.
Yeah.
Not good advertisement.
It looks like the North Las Vegas City Seal actually has a stealth bomber on it. Because, what's that Air Force base in North Las Vegas?
Is that Nellis up there?
Nellis. Although that's not where they developed the stealth bomber. The stealth bomber was further north at Area 51, so I don't know why they put the stealth bomber on their city seal, but they did.
Because it's cool?
Yeah. Bad car. I went with Balicki. Is that how you say his name? Balicki?
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
Josh.
Balicki in the number 66 Manscaped testicular cancer car. Because that's just three words that don't belong together.
That's a rough one.
Yeah.
I went with the Riley Herbst, the 35 car. Some sort of nicotine pouch thing. It had more wording in the warning labels than it did like the actual pictures or selling the product.
They really have to put all that warning label on a car?
Half of it was warning nicotine, blah, 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 whatever. Yeah, we all know. We all know how it goes. Thanks, guys.
You guys lost a big lawsuit. Come on. In other news, NASCAR teams Front Row and 23andMe.
That's 2311, I believe.
Oh, right. That's a different 23. That one's bankrupt, but hey, the other one might be bankrupt too. So, those teams have asked a Colorado court to force Liberty Media, the F1 commercial rights holder, to produce their financial data because the F1 team or the NASCAR teams won't use that as in their lawsuit against NASCAR, saying this is how much money we should be making.
This is what it looks like when a racing team actually makes money competing in a series.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind saying some of these financials could be interesting.
Yeah, not if there's some Epstein Island trips on there. You're not going to see them.
That does sound a little F1-ish.
Yeah. Prince, whatever, the old Prince, not the young Prince. The one, the other spare.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, William? No.
A lot of that's going to be redacted, I bet.
Yeah. I don't know how you're going to think Formula One financials are going to be anywhere near close to NASCAR financials. Like, you don't get that many viewers in NASCAR.
No, that's not even. What are their budgets? Multi-hundred million?
Oh yeah.
And
versus
NASCAR's
billions.
Probably in 10 to 15 million a season instead of 200 million.
Yeah.
Team Penske drivers from NASCAR, IndyCar, and IMSA met with President Trump where they celebrated their recent championships with photos on the White House lawn. All of the Penske cars were later spray painted with swastikas by tolerant progressives.
Oh, that was nice of them.
Yeah, it's kind of a rough paint schemes there at Long Beach.
Yeah. It was artistic, I'm sure.
Yeah.
After crashing out of the Phoenix race, Catherine Legg has signed a deal with Elf Cosmetics to crash in 12 more NASCAR races this year.
That's nice.
That'll be fun to watch.
So she's not signing a deal to crash in the Indy 500?
No. She's going to crash in NASCAR this time.
A little safer, I guess.
Elf Cosmetics. Are there that many women watching NASCAR now that they can sponsor 13 races?
I don't know. Maybe. Probably not. Coming up this weekend is the last off weekend for Cup. And then 28 straight weeks of racing. My God. The Busch Series and the trucks will be at Rockingham on Friday and Saturday for the first time in, 30 years or so.
So there's no racing on Easter?
No racing on Easter.
Wow. The Franz family got Jesus again?
I think enough people complained that they decided that they can celebrate Jesus.
Okay. They're probably still going to race on Mother's Day, though.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
28 straight weeks of racing after this.
Wow. Isn't that like how long it takes for a virus to No, it's 28 days. There's something's 28 days. I forget.
I don't remember.
IndyCar woke from its long winter's nap to visit Long Beach for an almost exciting race as Kyle Kirkwood finally got a win for Andretti. Pablo came in second, and Christian Lunge Guy used an alt strategy to get to third. You know what? I don't see that Long Beach has ever been a real interesting race. It's just narrow.
There's always some kind of strategy. I feel, well, not always wins, but gets somebody up there on the podium, which happened again.
Yeah.
I just felt that after watching those first two races, I thought it was such an interesting race.
Compared to NASCAR.
Yeah, like after the race, I'm like, man, that was a great race.
Yeah. You know what? The Fox did make it feel more interesting than it really was but it was like Kirkwood the whole way, pretty much. Nobody could get past him.
Their announcers did a good job of keeping it interesting.
It's still a little weird hearing Will Buxom do IndyCar again.
It is. I like that Fox cutaway car. That thing is pretty in depth. That they.
Ooh,
technical.
yeah.
They should put that on their website so people can look at it, mess around. That'd be kind of fun.
3 in a row for Honda.
That's all of them.
Yeah. The last few years, it's been Chevy dominating on road and street courses, and Honda in the ovals. And so far this year, it's been all Honda.
That's true. Well, as long as Pillow continues driving a Honda, it's probably going to be Honda dominating.
Oh, I'm watching the race. I'm going, anybody but Pablo, just somebody else win this race.
Second place.
Yeah.
And then they're talking like, is Kirkwood going to be the one to challenge him? And he's not. I don't know. No. Last year he didn't win. He won Long Beach, I don't know, and that was pretty much his only showing for the season.
And wait, was that the push to pass season?
Well, maybe it was the year before when he won Long Beach, and then
he.
Yeah, like he's won the race before, but really didn't do much in the championship.
I'm thinking of St. Pete. He won St. Pete, and then he got taken away.
What's that?
Or no, I'm sorry.
That was Newgarden.
That was Newgarden. How many yellows in that race? I can't remember I cannot remember a single yellow, like not a full course yellow.
I think it went green all the way through. I think there was no safety car
on a street course. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's obviously pretty good driving, I guess. Kind of amazing.
Yeah.
I'd like to know who chokes more, Colton Herta or Lando?
Oh, I'm going to say Lando, but maybe Colton's just practicing for F1, so he can choke for Cadillac.
If you add pit crews in, it goes towards Colton, I think.
Yes.
Because they kind of messed him up a couple times.
Didn't he, in his, not his rookie year, his second year, he was winning Long Beach, and then he crashed on, like, the last lap.
Yeah.
And he cried on the radio a little bit.
Stop. It just seems like he messes up a little too much in the high-pressure times.
Leclerc used to do the same thing.
Yeah, he did.
Not a good day for Penske. I think their biggest battle was Newgarden versus his seatbelt.
Seems like the seatbelt won.
Yeah.
He had to come in. Then they said the story about Paul Tracy, who did the same thing, but he decided to just stay out the last 20 laps because he was leading the race.
Like, I'm not coming in. I won't crash.
Man, if you get hit, you're going flying.
I know.
In that old style Indy car.
Yeah, you're probably not going to survive that one. But hey, I'm winning, so that's a true racer. I do miss seeing Paul Tracy out there. He was fun.
Yeah. Are they still running the Target livery?
I did see the Target livery for Penske. Who's
the red?
Yeah, red with the yellow stripe around it. Yeah, looks exactly like the Target livery.
That's supposed to be Ganassi is supposed to have that one. Who's running that? Is it I don't even remember. Is it a Verizon car? I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's a Verizon car. Why don't they don't really have a lot of household sponsors anymore. I mean, Verizon's a household sponsor, but just not a lot like there used to be.
No, it's kind of a big deal when I see one. I saw Mobil One, I think, on a car, and it's like you can count them on one hand, companies that I've actually heard of.
Yeah.
NASCAR kind of had the same problem. they're kind of moving out of it.
Mostly drug companies and lawyers, car companies.
I wish we could get tobacco money back into racing, then we could have the good old days again.
They could make some money again if they had tobacco money.
It's just cash flowing everywhere. In a modern day miracle, Stingray Rob led some laps and finished in the top 10.
That's shocking.
I mean...
Wait, is he from California?
I don't know.
Was that a DEI finish?
Stingray does sound like someone from California.
Exactly.
But, I mean, obviously it was he stayed out on a strategy, but...
Yeah. Oh, did he do... Wait, he didn't dumpster dive strategy, did he? Like, just pit really early and hope for a...
He got himself into the top 10 with the finish, which... and he didn't crash. Just impressive for him.
I was watching the Israeli driver Schwartzman. I didn't see any tolerant progressives protesting him.
They didn't show him on camera. I'm sure they escorted him off the property.
Well, where was the race last year where there were some protesters that got arrested? Was that Detroit?
Oh.
It sounds like Ohio, but...
Probably Detroit.
It was one of the street races.
They should have let him on course.
Absolutely. Nothing beats the Scottish dude that ran on the Formula One British Grand Prix back in the 90s.
Was he protesting oil or something stupid?
I don't know.
It doesn't even matter.
What do the Scottish ever protest? Cheaper haggis? I don't know.
Murdering William Wallace?
Yeah.
Something like that. There was another underwhelming day for Graham Rahal, finishing 22nd. It used to be qualify poorly, move up about 10 spots, finish 10th to 15th. And now it seems to be qualify poorly and finish there.
Time for sports cars?
That Rahal BMW looked pretty nice. Got a nice seat over there.
Yeah. I mean, Rahal's still my favorite guy, but man, he's just never in contention anymore.
Just not close. Not like running top 5, not even top 10, like consistently.
And he has a Honda.
Yeah.
What do they need? Do they need better race engineers or just better drivers? They're just not doing it this year.
The only one that's done anything recently is Takuma at Indy, when he comes over and runs and wins, or runs really well. Well, because Honda gives him the good engine, I believe.
Oh yeah, that's right. They saved that one for Takuma for the 500.
This is the Takuma engine from Honda.
I wonder if Rahal will run the team. Like maybe his dad will retire and he'll switch over like Andretti.
I bet he does until like Dan Taurus kicks him out of his job and takes over the team from him or something.
Yeah, I mean, if it was just drivers, you would think the other Rahal driver would be doing better, but they're all doing poorly.
They're all back there.
I think they need some different engineering team to help them set that car up.
I've seen them making new hires every year, trying to get something going, but it's not showing up anywhere. Maybe at Indy.
I keep hearing Red Bull people are, putting their resumes out. What do they call it? Something different in Europe. They don't say resume. It's like CRV or something like that. They have some weird initials. Interesting. Well, in other IndyCar news, former IndyCar driver Paul Tracy has started his own podcast titled Racers Unchained, which I learned is not about Al Unser Jr. He's Racers Unhandcuffed.
He was at the pre-show. He was on the pre-show there at Long Beach. You see?
Was he? Did he have an ankle monitor?
I don't know. Maybe. He seemed okay. Why would you start a podcast? What a stupid idea.
I know. Who's going to listen to a racing podcast?
No one cares enough to listen to a racing podcast. Santino had an excellent race. He went from dead last to P11. Just like Biden in the 2020 election.
Yeah. He was dead last in like the first 2 Democratic primaries.
So was their nominee in the last election?
Actually, no. There was one person lower than him, Kamala Harris.
So the president got...
I'm telling you, Biden picked her for VP as a poison pill. he knew they would never get rid of him if she was their next option, and they did anyway. That's just funny. Oh, he may have been going senile, but he was a cagey old swamp rat. He knew what to do. Ratings for the Long Beach Grand Prix were only a third of the St. Petersburg race, sadly. Fox blamed the low ratings on going up against the Masters golf tournament because nothing turns the head of a racing fan like golf.
Why would you?
Why, really?
I know a lot of people watch the Masters, but I don't know anyone who's like, well, it's either going to be the Masters or racing.
Yeah.
You know what else was on at the exact same time? The NASCAR race. Maybe you should work on not having those on at the same time.
Were they both Fox?
Fox and Fox Cable Channel. And then maybe also not having 28 weeks between your races. You know, if you like, maybe every other week people get into a habit of watching them.
Yeah.
Because that's not great. That's not great. Coming up next for IndyCar in another, 28 more weeks. God.
Yeah.
Can we fill in the schedule at the beginning, please? Can we just race at Phoenix for 4 straight weeks? At least that's something. We've got another 3 weeks of bed rest before we head to the Alabama Grand Prix on May 5th.
That just sounds like an April Fool's Day race.
The Alabama Grand Prix.
Yeah. What? I mean, if they named it after the city or something, maybe it would sound more real, but it just sounds like a joke, like, oh, the Alabama Grand Prix, that's where you race your moonshine still lawnmowers or something.
I'd watch that.
We have ancestors from Alabama, so I can't make fun of it too much, but...
Or does it mean that you can make fun of it?
Yeah. Yes, that qualifies me to make fun of Alabama. Yeah, 3 weeks, and then another race. So I feel like Fox didn't really review the schedule before they bought the TV rights to this one.
Maybe it was too late in the process to tell you this year's schedule, because hopefully they could mess with next year's or something. I know they'll have Arlington in there somewhere, so there's one out of an open 25 weeks early on.
I don't remember there being a 3-week gap.
Between...
Again. Twice.
No. That shouldn't be happening this early. Give it to them late in the season, or one late in the season, or in the middle, like sort of a break, and then that's it. Maybe a week off at the most.
Yeah.
Or like NASCAR, who's just 28 straight weeks. Good luck seeing your families. Bye.
So Alabama road course, and then it's the IndyCar road course, and then finally an oval. That's a lot of road courses before the first oval.
I think they need an oval before Indy.
They do. Not Phoenix Oval, unless they do something to that track, because that was a pretty boring IndyCar race.
They need to do something to that track.
Yeah.
They should just make it like Homestead.
I like street courses. I think IndyCar likes them too, because they draw in people and you get to do a lot of stuff between races.
You can put your racetrack right in the middle of the city and not have to make people drive far to you.
Yeah, you don't have to drive an hour and then walk another hour from the parking lot.
Seems like they're all more of like a carnival type event. There's all, people will just come out to check it out, and then, oh, hey, look, there's also a race going on.
We went to the Las Vegas Grand Prix when it was Champ Car. That was just a lot of fun. It was downtown Las Vegas, a lot of stuff going on.
Did we go eat at the buffet for like much cheaper than food around the track?
Oh yeah, you could buffet the entire weekend for what it costs for a hot dog at the track.
What is a hot dog? $6. Buffet is also $6.
$6. Eat all you want.
I make myself sick. It's fine.
I do miss the buffets in Vegas. That's what was nice about it.
They're all jacked up in price now.
Yeah, and they charge you for parking now.
Yes, I did get that the last time I went there and went, what is happening here? Why would I come here again?
They're trying to make back all the money they lost when the governments forced them to shut down for the pandemic that wasn't a pandemic. They got a lot to make up there.
Take that money from gambling, not from me just parking
I don't know, like $20 or something, even if you.
Even if you're staying there.
Well, in unrelated news, the British Supreme Court is set to rule on the legal definition of a woman. They're also going to rule on the legal definition of up and down.
That makes sense. But
Really?
that really needs to be, really needs to get the definition of that.
Yeah. My 2-year-old could rule on the legal definition of a woman.
What do you say? What are the odds they're going to rule something very stupid?
But I'm not sure what England's or Britain's Supreme Court is like. If it's like the House of Lords, then they're probably going to say, "It's a woman, you idiots." What?
Please.
It's somebody with female genitalia. But I don't know what their Supreme Court's like.
I just anticipate something stupid happening.
Well, it is coming out of Europe, so yeah, it's probably going to be dumb. That's it for the show. We'll be back next week and only have one. Just the Saudi Grand Prix. Because it's Easter, so...
The dirty Saudis don't care about Easter.
Yeah, they don't do that. Jesus was just a prophet to them. So, happy Easter. Go to church, you heathen.